Hey everybody, welcome to Setta'S Place. Today's video is what happened was again. Y'all, it's well, actually it's more of a sit and chat, I guess, because I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. I am, as you can see, back in West Virginia, and I'm tired. I was tired, y'all. And you say, why? What happened? Okay. For those of y'all who didn't know, I went to Texas. Me and Jeff, we went to see my mom for her 90th birthday. And there's lots of videos out. I've showed y'all what we did, some of the things we did. And anyway, that was, well, was it last week? I don't, my days are all run together. I can't tell you what's what. Well, we were in Texas. We got there fine and everything. We had a good time, had the parties, and everybody got to meet Jeff. Sorry about the noise, because that was his first time meeting my brother and his wife and my nephews and all that. Nephew and niece and all that. And the kids. But anyway, so we were supposed to leave on Sunday. We got there on a Wednesday, I think, and we were supposed to leave on Sunday. July 21st was the Sunday. So, do y'all know what happened that weekend before July 31st? I mean, before July 21st? That weekend, what had happened across the world? With the outages that affected everything, almost everything. Well, it happened that beginning part of the weekend or whenever it was, y'all know. Well, and I was figuring, well, by Sunday, you know, we're supposed to be heading out. It'll probably be okay, you know, maybe some delays, you know, some slow time, some waiting time. Well, they give us our little, you know, notifications. We supposed to left we were supposed to leave around, let's say 5 o'clock that evening. So, you know, you get the notifications delayed. Instead of 5, it's 6. Like, oh, okay. Okay, instead of 6, it's 6:20. I'm like, okay. Instead of 6:20, it's 6:07. You know, but it kept happening. But we was keeping an eye on it. But we went to the airport anyway because you knew it was gonna be, you know, stuff happening. You got to get in the line. Y'all seen the news. So we went ahead and went to there. It was still just a little delay. Then we were in the airport. Another notification was now it's 8 something or whatever the time was. I'm like, okay, but it was still there. So we go ahead, we go through, and y'all know, those of you who know me, how many suitcases do I have? And mostly yarn and projects, right? But now I have a husband, so he has his bag, you know, his bags, couple bags. So I've got all the check-in ones, and then we got our carry-ons, and we have backpacks. So we had to be packed up so we can get to the airport. So we go through there we do all that, lug all that stuff. We go through the security, take your shoes off. You gotta take stuff out your bag and blah blah blah. You know, all the stuff. Go through. Okay, then we're just hanging out. We're there, you know, pretty early, so we're just, you know, hanging out, and seeing where. And then Jeff saw, did they say it was canceled? I was like, what you talking about? I was doing something, and he said, it says canceled, because he see it from far away. I'm like, really? So we go, and it's canceled. I'm like, okay. So, like, okay, they canceled it. So we, so, you know, you get back in line because they got to rebook you and get you straight and all that. So we're there in line, and there's tons of people. Everybody has to get rebooked and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm in the lines, and then they're like, the next flight is, I don't think that one, for what we needed and all that, wouldn't be until, because this is Sunday, wouldn't be till Tuesday. And I'm like, okay. So Sunday night and Monday night leave on Tuesday. So when it's their fault, it's their stuff. They have to give you a hotel or compensate you or something. They can't, well, they're supposed to. And so I'm like, okay, well, they'll just have to give us a hotel. And but they were out of vouchers. They didn't have any more vouchers. Because of what just happened the previous few days, there was nothing, no vouchers. So you would just have to get a hotel and they pay you back. Keep your receipts and all that. I'm like, okay. Well, I'm so glad that my sister was still at the hotel. So I just, added on some days to that hotel where we already had. So my brother called my brother. He came back and picked us up and dropped it back off there at the excuse me. He dropped us back off at the hotel. And so I had told my sister while we were in line that it was canceled, so she knew we were going to have to come back. So she was ready for us and everything. So we stayed a couple more days. And what you saw, we went to the river walk and all that kind of stuff. So actually, it wasn't too awful bad. Yeah, we got to do some more stuff. It's just packing and repacking and lugging it and waiting. It's like, anyway. Then, okay. So, but they did rebook us for Tuesday night at 6:20. So they gave us plenty of time to get ourselves together. We planned, asked my brother again to come pick us up, and we did some things, spent some more time with my mom. Then we go like we're supposed to, and this time we were still trying to get there fairly early because we know what just happened. So, and stuff was still happening. So we get there way before we're supposed to, so we have time to go through, and if there's any complications. Well, we get there, and we have a delay, but just like 30 minutes. I was like, okay, it's not bad. That's not bad. No, it was like a 10-minute delay, and I was like, okay, that's not bad. But the problem was our connection in Atlanta. We only had 45 minutes in the first place. So they just took off 10 minutes. So I was like, okay, that's going to be cutting it awful close. But they were still possibly to get to the next flight. Well, another delay for another 20 minutes. So right there, that wiped us. I mean, trying to get to the next flight. Then I got a notification that Atlanta was delayed by 20 minutes. I was like, okay, they're pushed back, we're pushed back, so we still, if we just, so still possibility of making it, possibly. Well, once we get on the plane, we're on the plane, and then okay, so if we get on in the air now, and we get there, we possibly. We sit in the airplane for 30 minutes waiting on a piece of paper because the computer's thing went down or something where they couldn't even give seat assignments in the computer there. So whatever happened, the fuel checklist or something had to be physically, piece of paper had to be handed to them. So whoever there was, wherever they were at, had to bring it. I don't know. So we sat there for 30 minutes, which means we have definitely missed the Atlanta flight. But when we were in line previously to get our Tuesday flight back in the first, I'm so glad that the person working, thank you, Jesus, she said, I'm going to go ahead and book you on the next day flight for Atlanta just in case you don't make this one. Just in case, we're going to book you on the next flight that morning from Atlanta to get there on Wednesday morning. I was like, okay. So we have the Atlanta one that we're supposed to get to. If we miss it, we have one already in the system set up for the next morning from Atlanta. So we had it. But then it took 50 million years, and she had some problems trying to get it in there because of the stuff. But she finally did it. And so we had boarding passes for out of Atlanta the following morning in case we missed this flight, which we did. So we're in Atlanta. Flights missed, and Atlanta was tore up. They have had anyway. The poor Atlanta. But so we get in the line because now we need a hotel because we missed our flight. Right? They're gonna give us a hotel. Blah blah blah. They are out of vouchers. And there's a long line behind me of people in the line doing the same thing I'm doing. So there's no more hotel vouchers. So it means you have to pay for it yourself and they reimburse you. I'm like, okay. And you know what? Everybody else had the same idea, so there's no available hotels nowhere. there's no hotels available. So the person now I by this time, because y'all know, well, I don't know if y'all know, I have sciatica issues and just them things that I get the wheelchair assisted, at the airport. Even though I had Jeff with me, I still, when it comes to trying to get in between and all that walking, my sciatica, and that's another story I gotta tell y'all. But anyway, the person who was pushing the wheelchair, she said, in the hotel, which I didn't even know it was a thing, in the airport, they have these, I call them capsule hotels. They're like just a room where you can spend the night or a few hours if you have a layover, and I didn't even know that that existed yet here. I know like in different countries like Japan, they have the capsule hotels. But anyway, so there was like 3 of them in Atlanta. They're on different concourse, in different area of the airport. So she sits with us, and we call the first one. They have nothing until 6 a.m., but that's when we're supposed to be leaving. Getting up to leave, so that won't help us. The next one, no, they don't have anything till 6 a.m. The third one, yes, we have something available. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. So she takes us all the way to where we got to go, and we check in, and it costs, but we got no choice. So keep my receipt, and I'm gonna get my reimbursement. I'm like, come on. But anyway, so we got the place, and I took a little bit of a video because I was showing my sister and where we were at. So this is what it looked like. It's just a room, and had a TV, and I had a couch with a pull-out thing underneath, and but at least it wasn't out in the airport on the floor. You know what I'm talking about? There was a bathroom, a communal bathroom. You go out in the hall to the bathroom, and then they also had showers if you wanted, So they had the things, but we were so tired. We were so tired. And the thing, and also, we checked our carry-on, little rolly bags. We checked them because they said they're doing it for free if you want to get, go ahead. So we did. So, but we didn't know we was going to get stuck. So we had all we had was what was in our backpacks. So we didn't have anything except some snacks, thank goodness. And and I had my yarn, but I was too tired to crochet. I was too tired to do none of that. We crashed. And so I am grateful that we had a place to stay, because some people didn't. So we got up the next morning, we got on the flight, and let's see, did that one go fine? Yeah, I think there was no issues. We got home. So we made it home. We are so tired. Now in the meantime, for those of you who might not know, the car that we have been using was hit and run, and it was in the shop before we left. It's been months, and they still haven't fixed it yet. So, but I called them before we even left to go to Texas. It still wasn't done, but it's been done on Wednesday. So I was like, okay, perfect. We come in on Wednesday. My friend Joyce was going to pick us up at the airport. She was going to drive us to West Virginia to pick up the car because it's supposed to be finished. I call them, and the car's not finished, y'all. So now we're like, okay. So I said, well, let's just rent a car for a couple of days since we don't have a car when we get back because it's still being worked on. So I go to the rental car. I go to the one we rent, and they say they don't have nothing. So I call around, and then Chris said, yes, we have one. I'm like, oh, yes. So I make a reservation. I'm on the phone. We're going to get it. We're getting ready to head out, and the phone rings. After I tell Jeff we're going to get a car, Joyce is going to pick it up. The phone rings. Sorry, ma'am. No, this is a courtesy call. Let you know we do not have any cars available. I'm like, I literally talked to her 2 seconds ago, and now they have, so no cars. So I'm like, okay. I said, well, I'll go to the other one at the airport. There's some other cars, brands. So I go to another car brand, and they have something available. I'm like, whew. So we rent another car. Tired, y'all. We tired. So we rent that car. And Joyce came. She didn't need to, but I did have some stuff in her house, so she brought it to me. Anyway, we got to see her for a minute. We got her car. We ran by Kevin's, picked up stuff we had left there, and then we head on up the road. And now we're home. Oh, goodness. So that's what happened. That kind of reminds me of my 21-hour train ride to nowhere. If y'all remember that trip. If I can find that video, I'll link it down below. I have always got something going on. But anyway, we did have an awesome time in Texas. We will be going back, sometime soon to visit after all this stuff is straight. But I tell you, the people we work with is Delta. That's the flight people, and we've already got a bunch of miles put on our things. Now I'm waiting for my reimbursement because I did that as soon as I got home. I was so tired. The next day, I took pictures of all my stuff, sent in my request. So I'm still waiting on that, but we got a bunch of points in our accounts, so the help for whatever. We're home. We made it. But anyway, okay, y'all. I guess that's it. Excuse me. Oh, I wanted to tell y'all, if anyone who's still here after this long, but me, my stories, I ain't had one of these in a long time. The videos that'll be coming out are not in order, so even though we're back home, I have some videos from when I was in Arlington, when we were in Arlington, and then I still have some Texas videos. So, and then some that I did here. It's just going to be a mixed up, so it's not in order. So if you think, well, she's back in Arlington, no, or so I'm putting them out as I can get them edited. I just hadn't did any editing a whole lot, and so they're just not coming out. But anyway, I guess that is it for today. I'll talk to y'all later, and have a blessed day.